All right, we are in. Good morning, everyone. We are a little early, so we're gonna wait till maybe 2 minutes after before getting started. Good morning, everyone. I can see folks are still joining, so we're gonna wait just 2 more minutes before getting started. Thanks so much. All right. Good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. We are at 10:02. My name is Beth Nuttall. I am the Director of Grants and Programs at the Community Foundation of the Virgin Islands. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm also joined by my colleagues, Sonia and Demi. Sonia and Demi, would you please introduce yourselves quickly?
All right, good morning. My name is Sonia Barnes Moorhead. I'm the Vice President for Development and Capacity Building at the Community Foundation. Thank you all for joining us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Demi Trim, and I'm the Grants and Programs Associate under CFBI. So thank you for being here, and we hope this session is useful for you all.
Awesome. Thank you both. So yes, we are here to talk about the amazing Rashida A. Hodge scholarship opportunity that will be available soon. Just before we get into the details, some kind of general information answering these questions ahead of time. So yes, this training is being recorded. We will post a copy of the recording on our website as well as our YouTube channel, and we will also email a copy to everybody that registered for the training. And we will also provide a copy of this PowerPoint, which has some links in it that could be helpful to everybody that registered. We did turn off the chat, but if you have any questions as we go through each of the different slides and the information, there is a Q&A box, and you can type the question in there. Demi's going to be monitoring that for us, and she'll answer questions as she can throughout, but there'll also be a chance for a Q&A section at the very end of the PowerPoint. So again, if you have questions, feel free to type them in to the Q&A box as we go through this. So first, who is Rashida Hodge? And I'm going to hand it over to Sonia to give us a little bit of background.
Thanks, Beth. We just thought it was important for you all to know who Rashida Hodge is, and the connection she has to the community. She's a graduate of Charlotte Amalie High School, and she's also a board member here at CFVI. We're so fortunate and happy to have her as part of our leadership. She graduated from North Carolina State, and she's had amazing positions throughout Microsoft, IBM, and really takes the leadership at IBM in their AI work, which is a tremendous opportunity and role. She established this $1 million endowment scholarship fund in December of 2024. And you see that quote up there, and that really embodies who Rashida is, why she decided this was so important to give Virgin Islanders an opportunity to have the same opportunities that she's had throughout the years. And, she said, growing up in St. Thomas truly shaped who she is today. She had a really close community. Her mom was a single mom who really, her grandparents really helped raise her, and her aunts and uncles and so forth. It's just a truly amazing story. And she just wants to give back to the community, and she, through education, through this scholarship, is her opportunity to help students, on their path. And one of the things, as Beth goes through this scholarship opportunity, Rashida is not only given dollars, she's also going to give her time and talent. And so please keep that in mind. She is going to be a mentor to the scholarship recipients. She's going to really help them through the process. So that's such an amazing gift to have as part of the financial piece as well. So I'll turn it over to you, Beth.
Awesome. Thanks, Sonia. Yes, we are so excited to be able to work with Rashida on this and to have her on our board as well. So what is the purpose of this scholarship? So this scholarship will cover full tuition, fees, and housing costs for an academic year at North Carolina State University for up to 4 years. And it's going to be awarded by CFVI every year for 1 to 2 eligible applicants. Who is eligible for this scholarship? So this scholarship will be focused specifically for high school seniors in the USVI public school system. So it has to be a graduating high school senior of a public school in the VI. You do have to be accepted to NC State. You don't have to necessarily be accepted prior to applying, though we do encourage you to do early action, and I'll get to those kind of dates and deadlines a little bit later. And it is for undergraduate students, so not graduate, only undergraduate. You also have to be a full-time student, so that means 12 or more credit hours every semester. You have to have demonstrated financial need, be a resident of the Virgin Islands for at least 3 years, and maintain a GPA of 3.0 for renewal. So you can get this scholarship for your entire undergraduate career, provided that you maintain at least a minimum GPA of 3.0. Application requirements. So the application will be made available on our online scholarship portal. So in order to apply, you will need to create an account with our scholarship portal, or if you already have one, since we do have an annual scholarship program that maybe you've already applied to or someone you know has applied to, you'll want to create your own or log into your existing account. And I'll just show you quickly when you go to cfbi.net, this is our home page, and you'll just come to the students section. And then there's a scholarship login dropdown that takes you directly to the login page here. And you can create a new account or you can log on. And if you are not sure, you can contact Demi down here. Maybe you already have an existing account and you forgot about it. That's fine. We'll help you get back into it. And the second piece is the application and essay question. So it will require a transcript and a tax return copy. And this is actually a preview of the application. So when you click that link on the PowerPoint, which will be sent out to everyone, you will also have access to this preview. So you can kind of look at it anytime. We're just going to walk through it quickly, not in too much detail, but again, if you have a question about anything that you see, just put it into the Q&A. The deadline to apply will be March 31. We will go over a timeline slide a little bit later as well. So just general information about the application. Whatever account you set up with the email address, you need to make sure that's an email address that you monitor consistently, because that will be the primary way that we communicate with you about the application. So that's what this email acknowledgement piece is here at the top. You'll enter your name, date of birth, general information, gender, mailing address, how many years that you have lived in the Virgin Islands. Again, you are required to have a minimum of 3 years. Cell phone number and phone number, we will usually contact you via email, but if we can't get any response via email, whatever phone number is best to reach you at is also helpful. Information about any parents and guardians, confirming that you're a current high school senior. So you must be graduating from high school in May or June of 2026 in order to be eligible for this scholarship, because it's going to be eligible for the next cycle. And so if you're a high school senior who maybe graduated early in December of this year, you would also be eligible. A question about if your parents have filed a tax return. And if you select yes, then there will be questions further down on providing a copy of that tax return. All information provided is completely confidential. You're also more than welcome to redact any information that you don't want to share. The primary thing we're looking at is adjusted gross income on the tax return. Any special or extraordinary circumstances. So this is a chance for you to explain any circumstances in your life that would indicate why you have a greater need for financial aid. Again, going back to the eligibility, you do need to demonstrate that you have financial needs. So this would be a great place to help answer that. Talking about your living arrangement, so how many people live in the primary home, how many people are currently in school or in college, and any other information that you think would be helpful for us and the review committee to know. Describe how you plan on paying for your college education. So maybe you're doing scholarships, loans, grants, some family support, you're working, whatever it is that you're kind of thinking will be your plan. It will be helpful to explain what you're intending to do. And then this is just an optional question for anything else. If there is anything else you would like to share with the reviewers, for example, maybe your financial information has changed since the last tax return was filed, because maybe it's been a year or so since that was filed. Then there'll be a section on academic performance. So we will require that you upload a copy of your most current transcript from the high school. It doesn't have to be an official copy. It can be an unofficial copy. If you need to email it to us, you can send it to our general email here, but we do prefer that you can just upload a PDF file of it if possible. And then entering your GPA, and some schools use a 100-point scale, some don't, some have weighted, some don't. So there's lots of different little links here that will help you make sure you're entering your GPA correctly. Then we have some academic information questions. So what is the major that you intend to pursue? Doesn't mean you're going to be locked into that in any way. We just would like to know, what are you thinking about pursuing? And confirming that you will be enrolled as a full-time student, because only full-time students are eligible. And full-time, again, means 12 or more credit hours per semester. Some questions about the high school that you attended. So which high school are you graduating from? And a reminder that you do have to be graduating from a public VI high school in order to be eligible. And then there'll be a series of questions about whether or not you have already applied to NC State. If you have applied, it will ask you if you've gotten a decision yet. If you have applied and not heard back, that's also an option. If you are planning to apply but haven't applied just yet, that's also an option. So just a series of questions for us to better understand where you are in that application stage. Then we have 3 short essay questions. So, and we do have a little reminder here. We know how prevalent ChatGPT and other AI can be at this point in time, and we're not discouraging any use of that. We just want you to be mindful if you do choose to use it. We want to hear about your own thoughts, experiences, and ideas, but I know any kind of AI and ChatGPT can be helpful in formatting and spell checking, things like that. So just a little reminder about using AI. The first question is, tell us about a time when you did not meet expectations. How did you recover from the situation? And what were the perspectives and lessons learned? The second question is, just tell us a fun fact about yourself that is closely tied to the USVI. And the third is a scenario that we want you to consider. So let's think that you've just graduated from NC State with your undergraduate degree. You can move back to the VI for a job, or you can start a job elsewhere. What would you do and why? What considerations come into your decision-making process? And we don't want you to think there's any right or wrong answer here. We just want you to explore that and think about it, and for us to kind of see your train of thoughts on how you would make that decision. The letter of recommendation section is optional. I will say it is optional, however, it is also an opportunity for you to gain some additional points, up to 5, if you're able and willing to provide one. And the way that this works is that you just type in the email address of the person that you are requesting a recommendation from. That person will receive an email with the questions that they need to fill out. It's as easy as that. So it's pretty straightforward. And again, it's optional, but it is an opportunity to get some additional points in the application. And then at the very bottom, just an electronic signature verifying that all of the information you've provided is correct. And then you type your name and you put the date and you would click submit at the bottom. All right, so yes, as I mentioned, the letter of recommendation is optional. It will give you an opportunity for up to 5 additional points in the scoring. And then the final component will be a virtual interview with 5-member review committee. So this would only be for finalists. It's not going to be for everybody. And just to talk a little bit about the review, we have an amazing group of external folks. Some are graduates of NC State University, some are existing master's students at NC State University, and some other folks from the Virgin Islands that have worked in education or are very familiar with scholarships and the VI, and just wanted to help and get us, amazing applicants for this scholarship opportunity. So all of the decision making is external to CFVI. We are just administering the scholarship. We've established this review committee, and they would be the ones that any of the finalists would interview with. And then the finalists, with support from CFVI, will make decisions on any of the recipients for the first year. Scholarship timeline. So these are things that you can, jot down now so you remember to apply when it opens. We will be opening this application in January of 2026, so next year. So you've got a few months to prepare. You can even look at the application now, come up with your responses to some essay questions, and have it ready to go. And we'll be closing the application on March 31. So it'll be open for about a month and a half. Then we'll have a review period where we might be reaching out to you if there's something that we need to clarify or we have a question. Then there'll be the interviews with the finalists, and we'll have a final review to determine the actual recipients. And we'll plan to notify recipients in early May. Anyone that applied that is not selected will also receive a notification of the decision. We'll announce the recipients in mid-May, and then you'll have to provide your proof of enrollment so that we can issue payments and everything by the end of July. You can obviously provide it sooner, but the end of July would be the deadline. These are some key dates to consider about applying to North Carolina State University. So they offer early action and they offer regular decision. We really would encourage folks to apply to early action if you can. The deadline for that is November 1st, so that's only, a month and a bit away. and they will notify you of their decision by January 30. So you would already have, your decision in hand and be able to submit the application for the scholarship at that point. They also have regular decision, and the deadline to apply for regular decision is January 15th, which is also the same day that we open our scholarship application. And they will notify you by March 30. So that is a little bit tighter because our scholarship deadline is March 31. It's still doable. We can work with you if you do that for sure. But again, we do encourage you to do early action if you are able to. And one other really exciting piece about this scholarship is that it also gives you an opportunity to attend the Summer Start program at no cost prior to your first year. So this is just an opportunity for you to begin your experience at NC State early by taking some summer classes prior to the fall semester. So you get to go in person, you get to meet people and kind of explore the campus, already get comfortable with everything prior to starting your fall semester academic year. This is open to all new first year and transfer students at NC State, and it includes international students and some Spring Connect students. So it will be a pretty diverse group of folks that you would be able to interact with. And again, so if you are selected for this scholarship, you are also encouraged to attend the Summer Start program, and it would be at no cost to you. The scholarship would also cover that. So you just get to go a little bit early and experience the campus. So the key dates for Summer Start, you have to sign up by early May of 2026. The move-in day is around June, mid-June. We don't have exact dates yet because obviously they only just finished this year's summer program. And the program runs from June through July. So you'd be there about an extra month and a half early before you start your regular classes in August. And this link here will just take you to the Summer Start website where you can read a little bit more about what that experience is. All right. Oh, I feel like I maybe ran through that a little too quick. I don't know. We'll see. But that's pretty much all the information that we wanted to share for the scholarship at this point. And if there are any questions that we can answer, Demi, how's that looking?
We just have one question left. This participant is asking if the scholarship benefits you if you apply to the school and the scholarship and you get both, but then you end up choosing another school. Can the scholarship still be eligible for that case?
No, yeah, this would only be for students that are actually attending NC State. So let's say you were to apply to NC State, you get in, and then you happen to be selected to receive the scholarship, but then you choose to go to a different school, you would no longer be receiving the scholarship. All right, great. Any other questions? Again, we did turn the chat off, but if you have a question, please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. And this is also my email, so maybe if there's something you don't want to ask in a public forum, totally get that. You're welcome to email me directly, and I'm happy to answer that for you. Demi, anything else in there that we need to address?
No, no other question popping up right now.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll hang out for a little bit in case anyone else does have a question that they think of. I had expected this to take a little bit longer, to be honest. So, if I need to clarify anything because I spoke too quickly, please let me know.
We have one more question. Good morning. Are there specific limits for the financial aid component?
Limits. I'm guessing, are you talking about kind of income restrictions? There's nothing specific around that. You just need to demonstrate that you have financial need. So that will be through those questions that I went over in the beginning, where you can kind of talk about your living circumstances, how you're planning to pay for school. We'll also look at the tax filings as well, and that will all be taken into consideration by that external review committee when evaluating your financial need. So there's no specific numbers, but it'll just kind of be a accumulation of looking at the different answers to various questions.
They followed up and specified income limitations, but I believe you answered that with looking at the taxes.
Yeah,
and
that's what I
everything.
was addressing. Yeah, so no
Yes.
income limitations. You just have to demonstrate financial need. That's it.
The next question is, how many students will receive this scholarship?
So it'll be 1 to 2 every year. That's the plan. And, this will be our first year doing it when we open it in January, and we're excited to see how many applications we get. But the plan is every year, 1 to 2 students will receive it.
Someone is asking if we can just go back to the opening and deadline screen.
Sure. Can do that. Scholarship timeline. Yes. So we will open our scholarship application on January 15, and it will close on March 31. And I would also recommend, if you're not already, you can go to our website and go to Contact Us and scroll to the bottom, and you can join our mailing list here. So we will send out an email to everybody notifying when we have opened the scholarship application. We'll also put stuff hopefully out on like local news sites and everything on our social media. So that's another piece if you want to follow us on social media so that you can see when we have opened that. But you can also put a reminder in your phone or whatever right now.
The next question is, are J2 students eligible for this scholarship?
J2. I don't know what a J2 student is. Maybe if that person can clarify what J2 means.
Hopefully they'll send a follow-up.
Yeah, follow-up question.
The next question is, if you get the scholarship, they want to clarify that it pays for the full 4 years. And to merge another question, is the scholarship renewable each year? If so, what GPA or credit requirement must I maintain?
Yeah. So the scholarship is renewable up to the full 4 years, and you have to maintain a 3.0 GPA. Let me go back to that slide. There it is. So yes, it can be renewed for up to 3 years. Obviously, your very first year, you wouldn't have a GPA from undergraduate yet, but every year after, if you maintain a GPA of 3.0, which we would know by a renewal form that you would submit to us every year with a copy of your transcript so we can verify what the GPA is, then you would continue to receive the scholarship for that year, and you would go through the process every year for up to 3 more years.
That's the last question. I don't know if Miss Brenda is still on, that they want to follow up with the J2 question, but how long will the scholarship last if you don't want to do college right away after high school?
So this would only be if you're planning to go straight to NC State. So if you're thinking already that you probably are going to wait a year or so, then maybe don't apply if you know that for sure. If you're not totally sure, you can still apply, but you would be needing to attend NC State in the fall of 2026 in order to receive this scholarship. We're not going to, defer it or hold it for anybody.
Okay. Are internships, co-ops, or leadership development programs built into the scholarship experience?
No, there's no specific structured programs like that built into it. It's just that you would have kind of access to both CFBI and to Rashida in more of a mentor-mentee relationship. So, she went to NC State. She works a very high-level job in Microsoft and AI and has a wealth of knowledge and experience that she is looking to share with the recipients of this scholarship. So that would look like, Zoom meetings where you get to chat with her face to face, but video, potentially in-person things depending on scheduling. But there's no specific kind of internship program, no.
The final question, do we have an option for tutoring?
Tutoring, I think that kind of goes back to that question, that what I was just saying. There isn't really going to be tutoring one-on-one throughout, the undergraduate experience. That would kind of be, your responsibility in seeking that out from someone maybe on campus. I know that there are Caribbean and Virgin Islands groups on the campus at NC State, so those would be probably really great and helpful resources along with academic advisors. But CFBI is more just here to administer the scholarship and answer questions for you about how you would renew or how you would be eligible, how to apply. And Rashida would be more of a mentor to, just help you maybe check in once a year, something along those lines. It's not something we've really kind of solidified in any sense. It's just because, again, this is an inaugural scholarship too, but she will be available as a resource.
Thank you. Another question, do you guys know when decision day is for NC State? I'm asking because I'm curious, will you know if you got the scholarship before you officially enroll, or do we have to enroll and then wait to see if we got through with this scholarship? They just want to look at the dates properly.
Yeah, so I just moved the PowerPoint back to the NC State dates. So you would have to apply to NC State before you apply to the scholarship at CFBI. Again, we really encourage folks to do early action. So the deadline to apply for early action at NC State is November 1 of this year, and they will notify you by January 30. So, February 1, if you find out that you have been accepted, you could then decide at that point to go ahead and submit the CFBI scholarship, because at least you'll have a solid decision. But if you choose to apply regular decision at NC State, that deadline is not until January 15, which is the same day that we open our scholarship application, and you won't receive notification until March 30. And we close the application March 31. So you would, if you're waiting to get that decision, you would have 1 day to quickly turn around and answer everything. Of course, you could prepare things ahead of time, so it's not a big burden to do the application, but you can submit the application and there'll just be additional questions where you can clarify, maybe I haven't applied yet, but I'm planning to, I have applied, but I haven't gotten a decision yet. All right, looks like that's all the questions for now, but I'll just keep this up in case any more come in. And again, feel free to email us directly if you have additional questions that you don't want to put into the Q&A here. We're happy to help answer them. And we will be posting the recording of this online and sending it to everybody that registered, along with a copy of the PowerPoint, which has the links and everything in it.
Beth,
Mm-hmm.
just in case, I just searched like the J2 students thing. Would you like me to share with you what
Oh,
it
sure.
is?
Yeah.
So J2 students are the dependent spouse or minor children under 21 of J1 exchange visitors who have come to the US to participate in an approved exchange program. So would students like that be eligible for this scholarship?
Okay, exchange students. Yeah, so I mean, you're certainly not restricted because you are an exchange student. As long as you meet these requirements here, you would be eligible. So you would still have to be graduating from a VI public school, going to NC State undergrad full-time, demonstrate financial need, and be the most important piece for exchange students was you have to be a resident of the VI for at least 3 years. Thanks for Googling that, Demi. All right, well, we can hang out for a few more minutes in case anyone else thinks of any other questions. Again, this will all be made available to you via email and put online as well. You can always reach out to us via email or give our office a call and we can help answer questions that way too. Maybe we'll wait, let's say 2 more minutes till 10:35 and then we can close out. Sonia, is there anything else that you want to add that I missed?
Oh, I think you covered it well. Thank everyone for attending, and I hope we see a lot of folks applying. It's a great
Yes, yeah,
opportunity.
it is a amazing opportunity, and yes, we're excited to see how many of you apply. Or if you know someone that could be eligible, feel free to share this with them as well. Maybe even if it's a junior, they can start thinking about it now for their senior year when they're looking at what colleges to apply to. All right, yeah, we'll give it 2 more minutes just in case, and then we'll close out. All right, 1 more minute. Last chance to answer questions in the live format and get an immediate response. But please feel free to reach out afterwards if there's anything else that you think of as well. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions, right, Demi? We haven't missed anything.
Nope, everything got answered.
Perfect. Well, thank you all again so much for joining. We hope we provided all the information that you needed, but again, here's my email. If you would like to reach out with any additional questions, we'll send out the recording and the PowerPoint to everyone that registered and put it online. And other than that, thanks for joining, and we hope you have a wonderful long weekend. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.